Welcome, guys, back to Risk for Generational Wealth. My name is Barrett, and it's been a while. It's been months. Lots of people have reached out like, what happened to your channel? You haven't posted in a long time. And I want to begin and answer that. Before, though, I want to highlight something that's going to be different about my channel going forward. So I had a couple people reach out and say that the title that I have was a little misleading because, you aren't all that rich, so how can you possibly tell somebody how to get rich? Okay, fair. I understand. With that in mind, I do have life experiences and I do have specific instances of making extreme amounts of money beyond anything that anybody around me has ever done. I'm proud of that. Cool. Lessons can be taken away from that. Let's not get into that though, guys. The main thing that I really want to communicate to you guys from here on going forward is you have a promise from me. And that is that I will do to the best of my ability everything that I can to give you the most honest, thoughtful content that I can. Content that inspires you, real actionable items you can take in your life that actually help you on a day-to-day basis. My goal for this year and this channel is to give you guys value that you can use in your life to make your life better. So a lot of the people in my life are very busy. They have kids, they have just an intense work day, and they don't often have time to go research these different things out there or to learn about what the options are. So back to what happened with my channel. And in the spirit of honesty, I just want to go into detail about what I can, and I want to tell you guys right where I'm at. So I was working for this restaurant of a friend, and we had built this thing up. It was amazing. It was an Italian restaurant. We had it going, but there was a falling out there. Not to throw any shade, just wasn't a great experience. And so I ended up leaving there. I got in a place where I'm like, I'm not sure what to do. Where do I go? And really just kind of a tumultuous time. So I had to lock in on really getting into work and doing the work that needed to be done in order to create savings and make money. So, with the emotional turmoil, I ended up kind of losing my continuous streak of posting. And, unfortunately for you guys, I'm sorry, I had to lock in for myself. And that's what happened. So I, was working at a plant place for a little while, selling plants, trying to do something that I enjoyed doing. And that was freaking awesome. It was so good. I learned a lot. Some of the greatest people that I've ever worked with were there. It was just a beautiful environment. And so as I began to heal my soul a little bit, I got a job that was in the corporate environment selling corporate coffee. Now, the company was a complete fucking shit show. Sorry for the swearing, but it just was a mess. As soon as I got on there, the manager that hired me quit. People quit all over the place. But at least for me, it was a source of safe income despite the instability. So I did that for a little while, up until the beginning of the fall. And I had even more trauma kind of happen. And you want to do your best not to let trauma derail you and put you into a bad place, but I'm a huge dog person. And, one of the dogs that I've been closest with in my entire, throughout my most recent life, he ended up getting a really intense cancer and passing away very quickly. And that just absolutely destroyed me. I was so messed up and beat up. I mean, the last thing I could possibly think about was content. And even to this day, it's been months and I still am not fully healed from it. I'm in a better place, but if I reflect on that, I'll probably cry. So to avoid that was rough. And then shortly after that, what did I do is I buried myself in the work. I got to the point where for multiple months, I was working 7 days a week nonstop. I would work, my full-time corporate job, and then I would go to the plant place on the weekends because I'm just like, I want to make as much money as I can, and I want to also test myself to see what I can do. Can I handle this work? And I did. And I did great for a little while. And then, of course, the corporate company started falling apart, and people quit, people got fired. It just got messy. And they got to a point where they were like, we need everybody to perform. You need to go, absolutely crazy with the numbers, which I did. I got to a kind of a desperate place where they were like, we're either going to let you go, or you can do more than anybody's ever done at the company ever, as far as output goes. And do that every single day consistently. You mess up once, you're fired. I'm like, okay. And I really think that they set the goal to be so high that, it's like, we're going to essentially just fire you no matter what, because nobody can do this. Well, you know what I did, guys? I dove in there and I did my absolute fucking best. All day, I cranked it out to the point where for 2 weeks in a row, on a daily basis, I was number one for output. I literally was putting out 30% of the sales activity volume for the entire company. And you know what? I'm proud of that. And at the end of the day, they saw fit that they were like, well, we still just want to get rid of you for this small little stupid thing. You forgot to mail a customer a package. Great. You know what? I got what I needed from you guys. Thank you very much. On to the next thing. So now, guys, that was November, the end of November. December, I got into another rough place again where I'm like, crap, what do I do? I don't know. Like, I have a little bit of money, but it's not great. And I just started to get down. And luckily for me, I have an ability to pay for the stuff that I need, in the short term. It wasn't anything too crazy. I have, a little bit of room, to make things work, but it was still very hard. I mean, when you get to a place where you're emotionally, you're like, I can't deal with the heaviness of everything that's going on. I haven't processed the emotional stuff that I need to process, and I don't have the willpower right now to push forward. And a lot of that came from anxiety, from not knowing what to do and where to go. And I've been applying to jobs like crazy. I've been doing everything I possibly can in the right way. And truth be told, the job market is absolutely terrible, which we'll get into in another video. But what changed everything for me, guys, and what I want you to take away from this is I decided to make changes for myself to get me back into the zone. So while I was doing this corporate thing, I completely, and working 7 days a week, I pretty much gave up the gym. I was so consistent up until that point. I was the most fit that I'd ever been. I was in amazing shape. And when I was doing the corporate thing, I completely fell off. I started, for the first time in my life, I'm pretty skinny, but I started to get a little bit of a pooch belly, because to be honest, I was going to Wegmans and getting the big bucket of the chocolate chip cookies, and I would eat 12 cookies in a night, and it was so heavy. And on top of that, I'm making these aged ribeyes with fine butter from France, pouring it on top, and tons of olive oil. I was going through a bottle of olive oil a week for myself, which probably contributed when I went to the doctor. They were like, "Oh, you have high cholesterol." I'm like, "Okay, I gotta get it back into shape." And not only, I just was falling apart in a lot of other areas of my life. So oftentimes you pick up a ball in one area and you drop the ball that's already in your hand. Life is a juggle, and it's really hard to get everything done that you need to get done. But you know what? I'm going to snap back into it. So it's been a little over a week now. I've completely quit any kind of alcohol, extracurricular activities in that genre, and I'm focusing on my health. I'm back to eating better. I'm stopping eating at Chick-fil-A, eating out. I'm making my own food, making salads, and going to the gym. And you know what? It hurt so bad. When I stopped doing that, for the first day or two last week, I was heavily depressed. I couldn't even do anything the first day or two. I felt terrible. and, you know, just like forcing myself to get up, forcing myself to do the things I need to do. But you know what? If you just push through the first 2 days, you, for a fact, start to feel better if you're aligning all these things. Like if you change to going to the gym again, if you change like getting better food, you focus on getting better sleep, you completely remove yourself from all the political decisions and the stuff that is taking your mental energy. If you do all these things and get yourself around good people, you find it, the life is actually a little bit easier, and it's easier to do the things you need to do. And so I did that. I'm like building, I'm feeling great. And I a huge point that hit me, and you guys might have seen this quote unquote kind of crazy video that I put out, where I'm, you know, doing a bunch of swearing, and I'm like, F this, I'm not taking this anymore. I'm gonna be the best version of myself. I don't care what anybody says. I will win. I will win. And a lot of people saw that and they were like, that is scary. That is a very intense look for you. But I freaking love it, okay? You know what? I looked at myself, and when you watch your own videos and you see you're like, okay, I'm a little embarrassed. There's a difference between when you see, okay, this is me, I'm a little shy, and then you look at, like, say some of your idols or these people that are really good at YouTube. You're like, damn, they just speak so well. These words flow together so well. How do they do it? And I'm like, it's passion. It's a lot behind it. And you know what? I'm like, I want to be like that. And so when I made that video with the kind of the swearing and the intensity, that wasn't meant to scare. That was meant to inspire you guys. I want to be a motivator. I absolutely love pushing people and motivating them. It's a great feeling because it feels good to me when I've had the lows or the tough times, and I've had to watch like motivating videos just to kind of bring my mental back. I mean, there are so many times where I would literally take my beat up, upset, sad brain, and I would put it through like an emotional washing machine of positivity and motivation. And even if I didn't absorb it all, it's like, all right, another cycle, and what that does is it did kind of train my brain to have confidence in myself and feel motivated. So guys, that's where we are today. I wanted to provide this update. You guys deserve an update, and you guys deserve what I'm about to make for you. And I promise you, watch my videos, keep watching, like, share, subscribe. If you support me, I will do everything in my freaking power to give you guys the value. And I promise you guys, when I make it and when I build myself up to be this great figure that I imagine for myself to be, and you know, when I can build this following, I will not forget about you. I will do what I can to give you guys value and to use my future connections to leverage what I can and give you a better life. Because guys, when you're down, it's so hard to care about other people and their situations. If my cup isn't full, how the hell can I fill up somebody else's cup? So my goal is to help you guys fill up your own cup, become the people that you want to be, and inspire all of you for greatness. I love you guys, and thank you so freaking much. It means the world to me that you follow me, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.